This will be our second broadcast. So, in this session, we will be focusing on the architecture of our product, that is algo trading, and engine design, system design, technical stack design, and our project planning, like how this thing will get executed. So, before we dive ahead, like in a previous session, we have discussed about the context building for this particular product. So for that we have opened this thread that we have created earlier. So through this thread, our LLM of agent this anti-gravity will have proper context like what we are doing. So this is inside this thread. So that I have opened. Now I will be progressed further to overriding the proposed architecture by our technical co-founder. Technical co-founder here is what this LLM and this anti-gravity tool is. So now we will correct or maybe enhance or will give our technical architecture guidelines to our technical co-founder. So we will be make sure like it's no executing in the right direction. So let's see first what it has generated. So it has generated this technical architect according to its knowledge. So we will be overriding this one and we'll be giving our customized requirement based. Okay, so we'll create a quick prompt for this one. So instead of writing a long prompt in here, so that will be invisible after 3 lines. So instead I'm opening one temporary file and writing my prompt here. So that way the long prompt will be available here in a one eyesight. So it will be easy for us to comprehend. So any algo system will basically have the main 3 or 4 basic elements or the component, I would say. The one is a where you collect your all live feeds, your live data, you store it at place, and then it will take ahead from your further element of your system. So that will grab the data and process it, and then it comes to the next. You will be this order management system where you connect your markets, different markets. It can be a crypto market or it can be a local national markets. Okay, and after that, final, you will be writing your journals. Like it will be helpful for you to observe your trade behaviors. For example, you have written some strategy. So how this strategy is performing. So accordingly that you can take some actions on it and you can no further enhance or maybe change altogether. So that will be there. And one control panel, like in any programming language, we have this called config files or maybe an environment file. So there you will be holding all your system configurations. So that thing will be there. So and how it would be technically handled. So here we will be proposing operating system as any Linux systems, because there are a lot of things which is not possible with the Windows system compared to the Linux. Because Linux, you'll be having a deep hand inside the system. So whatever things you want, you can easily do it rather than following the long bureaucratic things comparing to the other operating systems. So here we have that flexibility. So the OS will be choosing. First, let's give a technical stack. So for that, we will be using OS as Ubuntu, and engine definitely will be using Python. For my point of view, why Python I am using? Because in Python we have many good libraries, like a TA-lib is there, then pandas a technical analysis tool is there. So once you fetch your field from any of the data source, then you will be performing those operations. For example, data as given are like open, high, low and close, 4 columns. Okay, so we may require certain other 4 columns as per our design. Maybe it can be RSI, it can be Bollinger Bands 4 values. So like that, we will be requiring couple of other columns also. So for that reason, to make it easy, we will be go with the Python as our engine writers. Okay, and for the script writing, we will be using sh, shell script. So there will be a occasion like we require to have certain steps to be performed at certain time of the certain intervals. For example, if you want to run some script that I want to get executed at this point of time, so that will get handled easily via shell script. Comparing to the other operating system, there are different execution this extensions like batch for the Windows, and WSL is there. There are many, but for the Ubuntu, we will be using the shell script. And database will be avoiding, because think at the moment like we are just developing a straightforward system with the no nonsense things. So if you want to get some data from the database, there will be a fractional delays, and here every delay matters. So for the database, we will be using CSV files or pickle files. Pickle files is something where you can dump your data in terms of the binary or whatever codec you have using. So instead of fetching the full file, it will give you the more speed. Okay, and to monitor all this stuff, we require some sort of a front end side of it. So for the front end, let's tentatively decide Angular, or maybe we'll be switching to the Next.js. Not sure about this. It's too early to design, but I guess for now we'll go with the Angular. So I guess pretty much this. We're missing anything? Voice is there, engine is there, script is there, database is there, front end is there. So basically our main aim here is to achieve a good controlled system where we'll have maximum control on a system, unlike the other algo trading platforms are there where you have very limitations over it. Like you just have your front end is there, then you give some configurations in your front end inputs, and that's that. Accordingly, that system will react. But here with respect to the coding perspective, should be having a good simple control on your system. So with that frame of mind, we'll be designing our architecture. We'll keep it very simple and straightforward. So front end is there now. Okay, this much is fine. Now let's jump to the architecture side. So our first step will be data feeds will come from Binance. So why Binance I am choosing? Because there are other platforms, as you already aware, like we'll be taking a reference from the crypto, but it will be flexible. Instead Binance, you can attach your national stock exchange APIs to it, and your data feed will be act accordingly. But for this one product, we'll be using Binance because we'll be dealing with the crypto market. And why Binance I'm using as a data feed? Because we have to combine multiple sources. Like one will be relying only for your collecting data, and one will be for OMS to keep the load minimum on your OMS to avoid any no bucket limitations. For example, if your account is there in a CoinDCX or maybe some other providers, so there are limits set for the API usage. And let's consider a scenario like you have placed like a good amount of value in your trades, and trade is ongoing and you're sleeping at the midnight, so no one is there to monitor it. And that time, if a trade is failed due to this API limitations or the API value token limitations, so you will be like in a the very difficult situation. So to avoid that, to minimize our risk, will be bifurcate, like Binance only responsible to feed the data. Okay. Now once our data is here, okay, here we have raw or relevant name maybe, and this will be our processed data. So while saving only, will be process it. So system will pick data from the raw, then process it. Can we give some good name on it? I think raw is good for now. Then give the star mark. Yes. Okay. So now we have correct BTC, let's say. dot extension or CSV for now. This will comes under the cron one. Every 5 minutes, I guess, will be better. Hmm. Now, third step will be strategy execution. So in this, like once we have our files ready, for example, let's say we have a btc dot extension file is ready, and we have all our no the feed inside is there, and let's say right now the 2054 time is here, so it will pick that time particular candle and check for our strategic values. For example, if RMS value is above that, Bollinger is above below, if that condition meets, then this strategy will be executed and act accordingly. So 3.1, if trade is there, then insert on example. Yeah, I guess this is a pretty straightforward. Let's keep it simple. Okay, I guess we have to give execution file. So in execution, how it will work? First, fetch data file. Then check for the validation, because we have to keep the validation there to tackle a scenario. For example, if the candle is somehow the candle you are processing which is old, for example here 2056, so accidentally I'm processing candle called 2055, so that should avoided. So, and also there are a couple of more validation will be coming, so but validation scope we have to keep it. Then it comes strategic check. Here we'll check all our pandas TA parameters. Then it comes strategic okay, risk management. Correct. Then after risk management, if trade is there, then insert if no trade, update existing. I think this much is enough for our first brainstorming with our technical co-founder. Prompt looks good. Also, we will be having one environment or config file where we gonna save all our configs. Configs can be following. Time. So time can be 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 1 hour, 1 day. So once we complete our system, we'll be uh, experimenting with all these time frames, or perhaps we'll be combining all these time frames. Okay, and what else we want in configurations? Oh, yeah, important. Live, true, false. Okay, fund we want. And okay, one important thing we are missing, time gap. Because even though we are using Binance, they also have some sort of uh, idle time we should give. Like we are fetching BTC, then after BTC we have to wait for 1 second, and then we'll be fetching Ethereum and so on, XAD, etc. So that config is there because we'll be in a situation like no, the situation like we have to run our algos really fast. If it is a scalping, we'll reach that state, then you come to know. But raw understanding will be keeping a time gap will be really handy for us to control the whole system. Think of your like driving an airplane, so there'll be a lot of controls in there. So it will be like similar control panel we will be having. Okay, so time we have, then stop loss, a profit lock. Time zone also one of the important figure because Bitcoin always runs on a zero time zone. I'm in the UST, and possibly if you are using you're someone from the Japan or maybe from some different part of the world like Africa, so you have different time zones, and if you're using your local vendor as a OMS, for example, someone from the Asian continent may be using a coin DCX, so their time zone accordingly the Asian time zones, like 4 + 4 to maybe +6. So you have to no configure your time zone accordingly, right? And when we deploy it, yes, in a tech stack we forgot one thing. Our deployment will happen on DigitalOcean. Or you can choose your own also, like local system, but it has to run 24/7, just like you're hosting your own on a static IP, because IP also we have to whitelist. So digital ocean, from there you can opt for your droplets, which will be Ubuntu, and there are other providers also, but it is a costly. And in a very zero session only, uh, we stated like will be more focus on a cost cutting and totally emphasize on the algo side of it. So for here, like I'll be choosing this digital ocean. Time zone USD. Let's send it. Profit lock. There'll be occasion like you will be locking your profit. For example, your strategy executed, and you make sure like you don't want to do a over trading or something. So profit lock should be there. So can be any figure XSX. Stop loss, I guess everything will runs on basis of, I guess this much is okay. We'll be not having stop loss because it will be a running stop loss. You'll be chasing each and every opportunity to maximize the profit. Now, don't do anything. Just give me your understanding. Our aim is to develop extremely minimal but effective. Okay, so prompt is ready. Now let's give it to our technical co-founder. Let's check what's the understanding. Okay, it has given a lot of things. Let's review it. Or it says completely agree with the decision. Says agreed to our staff, technical stack and deployment. Perfect. Looks good. So what I see, it has understood it correctly, but it's a very critical part of our product. So we'll switch our model to Sonnet. All the critical stuff in this product will be using this Sonnet, and for the lightweight stuff, we'll be using the Gemini. Opus and all is good, but it will be really costly. So it has green flagged our. Okay. So we have to deliver all the answers of the concern. So like this, we can brainstorm with our technical co-founder and reach to a point where like we both parties are agreed, like ourselves and this non-human technical co-founder. Like here it raised some questions. So raising a concern is really good by any model inside a chat thread. So the more concern and resolution of it will really helps to know understand the context of like what exactly we are trying to achieve here. So here it raised some question. Okay, so here it